Hey guys, Delightful Dave here, reaching out to you again from one of my many rooms in this house that we have dedicated to the YouTube channel, I guess. So today we're going to be talking to you about an investment application that just came out about a couple of months ago. It's called Landa, and that's a very terrible representation of what their logo looks like. So I want to see comments about how bad it is. I'd spent a long time on that logo. So if you're not familiar, Landa is a real estate investing app that allows you to purchase shares of an individual property in the sense of getting a rental income on said property. So, and there's a few different ways that they do this on their application, which is actually kind of cool. Landa is an application that allows you to invest specifically in real estate. Right now, they're primarily in the Atlanta region, and there's a lot of things I want to talk about with this particular application. So this video might get a little bit long. Based on all of the things I kind of want to go through. The fact is that they are a brand new application, right? They've only been out for a couple of months. They only have, about 6, 7, 8 houses at this point here, in which I've got a couple of shares in a few of those houses. So some we'll talk about here today and some of the reasons why you'd want to invest in one or the other, and which one's really going to be better long-term for the individual investor. Now, keep in mind, I am not a investment guru or whatever they say. I'm just your regular average Dave talking to you guys from the other side of the computer screen there. But there's a lot of really cool things to be excited about on this application, and for the individual investor that doesn't have $200,000 or $300,000 plus to blow on a rental property, this is a good way to park some cash and get a monthly income on that cash. So you'll kind of see on the board here, we'll kind of go through it itemized out, and on 2 of the properties that are currently available on their application, one of which, the 1750 Summer something, and I ran out of room, which is one that they had purchased outright. They did not, decide to go through a bank to have any part of it mortgaged or anything like that, which we'll talk about in a completely another video. So, of why it's a good idea to mortgage a property versus not mortgage a property, and how this benefits or doesn't benefit you. But I do have 2 of them listed on here. But what's really cool about this application is it allows you to put in kind of whatever amount of money you see fit. Like personally, the fact that it's a newer application, I'm not dropping, thousands of dollars into this one individual application, right? Because it's brand new, right? It's, it's one of those things where I really like what they're doing. I really kind of like getting into real estate, but I don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars to toss into one individual house to maintain and all these other crazy things, right? So what's really cool about this company is kind of how they make their money, right? They make their money off of one important thing, and that is this MF here, or just stands for management fee. So on this house they're making $57 a month, and on this one they're making $58. Part of that is they keep people inside of the house, so that way you're continually making income on said investment, right? Now they've only been around for 3 months, so track record wise, who knows? Because they haven't been around long enough to have a track record, really. But that being said, I've read a lot of really good reviews and a lot of very shaky reviews. I want to get one thing very, very clear. This app is brand spanking new. That means that there are a lot of bugs. There's things that just simply don't work correctly. And that can be very frustrating for the individual user. That being said, I have personally spoken to 2 very, very awesome people that work for Landa, right? And I'm no way affiliated with them at all, but they're almost always at my beck and call. They have an entire Facebook group, a whole Facebook page. You can message them on Facebook through their application. You can even reach out to them via phone call, which we had a long conversation about the things that I would like to see implemented on their app, and things that would make the user interface better, right? So they're still working on things, right? That being said, if you go to the App Store, you look at Landa, you're going to read the reviews. I couldn't do this. I couldn't get through that. I couldn't get through this. It's brand new, people. Remember Uber when they came out? Brand new app. Everybody had an issue. So And my director's telling me I have to calm down. I'm getting a little too excited, supposedly, right? I just need to stay in my individual spot, whatever. So we've got two individual properties here. We've got the 1750 Summer and the 5051 Maple. There's one very big key thing between these two applications, or these two properties that they have on the Landa app. One of these properties is financed, the other one is not, right? Personally, and we'll talk about this in a completely another video, I personally prefer financed properties through Landa. And some of you are getting ahead of me and going, but wait, this property has a per share of, 4 cents, or really just under 5 cents a share. And this one only has 3 cents a share. But the real difference here is the price per share, right? If we add this up, and I'm spending $8 and some change on, one property or the other, here really I'm getting just over 6 cents, where, there I'm still only getting really the 5 cents. So if you do the averages, it does make sense. So, but we're going to kind of itemize it out so you guys can kind of see how Landa's making their money on top of things. But what's really cool about that application is they don't charge you for things like putting money in, taking money out, purchasing individual shares of the property, right? They don't charge you for any of these things. They make their money on this right here, the management fee, which, to be honest with you, is pretty standard in the rental industry, right? You want to keep somebody in, you want to make sure that everything there is getting taken care of. You don't want to go to the house and fix toilets. Well, Landa's great for that. You don't have to fix toilets. They're going to take care of that for you. And there's something we're going to talk about a little bit later. It's the vacancies and reserves, which is this little line here, and what those numbers are, why they're important, right? But right off the bat here, we'll kind of talk about the 1750 Summer. We'll get into that a little bit here. Right now, that one's obviously the one that they did not finance through a company. You own, an individual share of the house. And you might be thinking, well, how many shares to each individual house do they give out? The answer to that question is 10,000. No ifs or buts about it. They give 10,000, that's it. There's not later on down the road going to be 15,000. There's 10,000 shares. So that share price moves with, buying and selling and yada yada yada. But it generally, from what I've seen in the last 3 months, stays pretty consistent with the actual home value, the equity that's in the home, which is a really, really cool point here. It might be getting all wrinkly here, so we're going to fix that so it looks a little better on camera. But, so the 1750 here, they're getting $825 a month in rent. And for those of you who are in New York or California, just in general, you're going, $825 in rent? I wish I was paying that. Well, so do I. I live in Phoenix. So, and we pay quite a bit more than that, but regardless, these homes here in Atlanta, and things just generally a little less expensive on the rental properties out in Atlanta. Now, I know that Landa is planning on doing more cities in the future, but right now, as we're shooting this video, it's the Atlanta area, which is fine. We'll start there. They'll kind of expand out, but what's great is it's available all 50 states, so you don't have to worry about it. You're not going to this house, you're not knocking on their door to get a check. Landa's taking care of that for you. That's what's important here. So we're kind of going through the 1750 Summer here, so I'm just going to get real nice and close to the board. So this line right here is the property tax on the individual property, right? So obviously, Uncle Sam's got to get his. So the 1750 Summer something, right? They have $85 in property tax. There's insurance on the property, right? Which, it's pretty cheap. I mean, it's only 29 bucks. There's an HOA. If you're not familiar with what an HOA is, stay away. That's what it means. It rhymes, HOA, stay away. So there's 50 bucks there, and then obviously where they're making their money is that management fee of 57 bucks, right? And I know that there's all those other people that are going, well, wait, they also charge for new properties. Yeah, they charge like 5 to 6%, I think, for when you do new properties, like brand new properties that they'd have an offering for, and that's just to cover the closing costs. So, so really, where Landa actually makes their money is right here, which, if you think about it, doesn't sound like a lot when they only have like 7 or 8 properties. So, but they're adding more all the time. Follow them on Facebook; they'll tell you all about it. So, they gotta wait for certain things to happen, but That being said, the rental profit, or RP, as I abbreviated here, on this property is $601. And then what is this $123 charge? It says minus $123. Well, that is their reserves, right? So if something were to happen to the property, say, you know, they broke a toilet, like literally took a sledgehammer to the toilet, and they needed to fix said toilet, right? That's something that's going to get taken care of out of the reserves, right? Now, let's say, for instance, that reserves, they don't need anything, right? The reserves are, well, we're great. You know, we don't need anything else in that property. It's, you know, there's like $10,000 sitting in that reserve bank account. Well, guess what? Land is going to, for what they've said so far, is going to give us a chunk of that to the actual shareholders. So it is money that you could get, possibly, but more than likely it's going to go to things like repairs and stuff like that. So they haven't really elaborated too much on how they would go about moving things forward with that, but it's going to be probably a few years before that's even a thing, right? I'm assuming that vacancies and whatnot should generally be running at about zero anyways, but if it's not, whatever. So, but out the door here, right, really what they're profiting is $478. So if you own 10,000 shares of that property, which would cost you, you know, $87,900, right, which is a lot of freaking money, you're pulling out 478 bucks a month, or per share, just over 4 cents. But now, on this side of things, right, we have something a little bit different. It's this little line right here, the one that says a finance charge. Everything else is the same. You buy in at $3.40 a share. At the time when we're making this video, that's what it says. It's going to change. So like a year down the road, you know, some of you people get all uppity and be like, well, no, it's $4 a share. Well, then congratulations. You just made 60 cents a share. All right, good job. Good for you. So just getting that out there for the future people who watch this video. But remember, this video was shot in, you know, 2019. You could be watching this in 2030. This might not even be a thing. But obviously they're making $725 on rent, right? And this is the property that I have some money invested in because I think they undervalued the rent side of things here. They have property tax at 46 bucks. Insurance is $39, which for whatever reason is $10 more expensive than the other one. Whatever, insurance is insurance. So finance charge of $146. And you're like, well, wait a minute. They got a mortgage. Why come they only have to pay $146? Because they're doing something called interest-only payments. This is the interest charge on the money they have financed. And as far as what I've heard, they're just going to keep that finance for forever, which does make a whole lot of sense. And I will explain it to you in another video, right? But for the sake of making things make sense for right now, we're just going to keep it the way it is. There's $146 in a finance charge, and they want to make 58 bucks a month on the property to keep something. There's somebody living there, right? No, not a really big deal there at all. So, past that, the actual rent paid here is $434. So then obviously they've got the $108 a month that is going into the reserves fund, which we've already talked about. So this property makes $326 a month. That is the profit on this property. And you might be thinking things like, well, yeah, but if they had a property that was $2,500, well, great, then you're paying $25 a share. That's really the only difference. It's the same concept moving forward through infinity. You can charge $100,000 a month. It's the same concept. It just gets more expensive for an individual share. You'll make a little bit more money in the long term. But my point is to buy a financed property and not necessarily a non-financed property, because you're going to make a little bit more money. Now, my end here, got a couple $100 invested in it, so keep in mind I'm not making a small fortune on this application here at all. But this individual property is making literally 3 cents per share. This is pretty much the Landa app here. One thing I will say is they are only accepting accredited investors right now, so just be aware of that. They kind of go through this whole thing where they kind of verify who you are and whatnot. If you're not sure what that is, go ahead and download the Landa app here, kind of build it out, figure out whether or not you are an accredited investor. But The big thing here is they have this really cool referral program going right now where for every person that I refer, they're going to give you $10. So all you got to do is make a deposit. Say that deposit's $5. You only buy like one share to see how it goes. It's kind of what I did, right? It's a brand new app. That's what I would do. But they'll give you another 10 on top of it for that application. You can even withdraw that money there, but which is really, really cool. Join their Facebook, their whole Facebook thing there. I'm on there. There's a whole bunch of other people on there. So shout out to the other people on the Landa community. So usually myself or other people, we always try to be on there and answer any questions that you guys have. But if you have questions, you can always put them down in the comments below on this YouTube video. I will say, however, that we might not be the best at getting back to comments just because the people who run my YouTube channel really don't know. So unless I am the one that gets to get back to you, no one really knows. So if you have Landa specific questions, join that Landa community. So download the app, check it out. You don't necessarily have to make a deposit if you don't want to until you know a little bit more about it. It's completely understandable. But in the description here, we'll be leaving a little bit of a link here, or a little bit of like a code or something along those lines here that'll give you that extra $10 bonus when you sign up for Landa, and just try it out. So, but let me know what you guys think of it there as well. If you guys are noticing anything, there's going to be another video here shortly on all of the reasons of why to buy a financed property versus a non-financed property. In fact, from what I've learned just by going to that Facebook community, the property in question here at $8.79 a share, it sounds like that property will be financed maybe in the future, but we're really not quite sure how they're going to go about doing that. So I think they were just kind of testing the waters on a property, making an $87,000 investment. And I'm like, yeah, it's a property. So, but it's really, really cool idea. Like I said, download the app, subscribe, like the video, share the video. So, and yeah, they're going to give me a kickback too if you use my referral links. YouTube. But anyways, don't forget to like, subscribe, use that referral link, download the app, tell me what you think of it, tell me what you like, what you don't like, tell them what you like and you don't like. That's really what they're looking for. But we're going to put that down in the description here. Don't forget to use that. So, but if you guys have any questions, like I said, I'm down below. Otherwise, Landa community, fantastic. But till next time, bye.